and good afternoon, good morning or good evening, and welcome to this Vox Talk for Season 3. I'm delighted that you've decided to tune in with us today, and we've got a very special guest who's dialing in all the way from Nottingham. This is one of our alumni programs that shows people how we kind of join together education and careers, and it offers inspiration for our current students. So I'm very honoured to welcome the absolute drumming superstar and utter legend, Mr. Ben Gosling. Whoa.
Hello.
The crowds go wild.
What a welcome.
I'm so sorry about the big sort of like build up. I wish I had a band and fireworks, but it just as I say, Ben, this is really lovely, and this is really for the mums and dads who've got kids who might want to go somewhere like into a career like you're doing, but don't necessarily know how to get there, but they don't necessarily want to give up on enjoying the music and the sport and things. So it's kind of just an inspirational thing for them. So if you wouldn't mind, can you take just 2 seconds to tell the viewers at home what you do? Yep.
So I'm an engineer, specifically a civil engineer. So what we do is all the infrastructure around you. So civils is, buildings, bridges, also the stuff you don't see like sewers and water networks. So yeah, a lot of the big thing you can see is probably built by a civil engineer, and that's me.
That's you. And do you work for a big company, or are you more of a consultant with a small company?
Yeah, so I work for a big consultancy called Atkins. So that's a global engineering consultancy, and they do everything. So from civil engineering and infrastructure to aero to energy. Yes, it's absolutely massive.
I think I have heard of them. In fact, I'll put the link in the bottom for any of the mums and dads that want to see what their company is. You'll be able to just click that and you'll find it. I know, Ben, that, one of the things that we've talked about in the past is that actually, coastal sites and coastal projects are one of those big things that you've done before. If you care to share with that, it would be really exciting.
Yeah, I've done first of all, my interest in coastal came from when I went to Swansea University, and it's beautiful because you could just go straight from lectures onto the beach if you liked, and sometimes that was it could sway you away from lectures. But that's where my interest really started for the coast, and I was lucky to get a placement out at a company called HR Wallingford, which is a coastal modelling company. So from there, we worked on projects located all over the world, working how to protect their coastline really, and with global warming and rising sea levels. Plenty of projects out there and plenty of coastline to protect from big waves and coastal flooding.
I know it's huge, absolutely huge area of development at the moment in civils. I think though, going back to what uni you went to, we've got a school down in Swansea doing great things, and we know where the uni is. The uni is really close to the beach, isn't it? It's like literally walkable. And it's a bay. It's a huge bay. There's the Mumbles with the greatest ice cream ever. The Gower Peninsula is beautiful. Was there a reason why you chose Swansea Uni apart from those amazing things?
Not really. It has a very good engineering sector to it, and that was popular. But I just loved it on the open day. It was just so relaxed, so friendly, so welcoming. And it was expanding. So if your students there now, they'll notice there's a huge, bay campus, massive, great building. That was just built as I attended. So yeah, it was good to get the first glimpse of that really and get to use it all.
Did they have halls of residence and things like that, or was it all private accommodation? I'm thinking about the mums that might be thinking, I'd like him to be in a hall for the first year.
They have halls. I was in a student village, which was a small village really, filled with students. In like not dorms, but houses of 8. So yeah, there's plenty of halls and plenty of student villages in town locations if they prefer that.
And to be honest, I think Swansea is a great town, a great city rather. There's a good vibe there. The people are nice. They're really friendly. It's a great nightlife for the students. It's not expensive either. So I'm hoping some of our kids go and have a look. Now, can you remember what A-levels you had to do or what grades you had to do to get onto the course?
Yeah, so the A-levels I did was maths, physics and geography.
Yeah.
But you only really needed the maths and the physics to get on. And well, my A-levels weren't the strongest. I let myself down there a little. But so they were pretty flexible with letting me in on that. But it's with different unis, you get different standards, and Swansea's not up there with the highest, but it's about there. It's getting there. So yeah, it caters for all sort of abilities, really, I think.
When did you decide to do engineering? Was it in your A levels? Was it something that you'd always wanted to do?
I always liked maths, or preferred maths over the English subjects. So I was always going along that route, and it was sort of a slow burner, really. I just sort of fell into engineering, and then I had the choice of which one, because there's so many you can choose from, and I quite like the bigger projects. That's why I chose civil over sort of mechanical and other things like that.
We've had a really good Vox talk with some guy who's gone into electrical engineering, and like quite a lot of installation based stuff. And then, I think engineering seems so broad now compared to what people would think, in the past. When you were going through your uni, was the course quite well balanced? Did you get to see a bit of everything? Did you get offered to go and do work placements?
Yeah, there's quite a balanced, civil engineering course, and I did get offered to go do work placements. You can do what's called a sandwich year, so you sort of do your degree and then you have a year out in industry, and I'd recommend that to anyone, because first of all, you get to earn a little bit of money to keep you afloat whilst you're a student, and the second is you learn so much faster than you do at uni.
You did with HM Wallingford, is that right?
HL Wallingford, yeah. So I took a year out between my second and third year, and took a year out there, and then went back for a master's because I quite like uni.
Yeah, everybody does a master's of engineering or something. Was it an MSc or was it a master's of engineering?
Yeah, it was an MEng. Yeah.
A decent master's, not one of these cheap like master of science.
No, I had to go for it, didn't I? Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. So tell me a bit about, how do you go from finishing uni into getting a job? How did it work for you?
Well, you've got to just put yourself out there, really. You've got to fire off your CV to loads of different companies, because you will get some rejections, and that's expected. But yeah, fire out your CV to lots of different companies with lots of different interests. Try and pick ones that sort of have a good grad scheme, which give you the opportunity to get bounced around the industry a bit and do different projects. Because as a young civil engineer, you think you might know it when you come out of uni, but in reality, there's very smart people in the industry, and you just need to get that experience where you move around projects and learn that way.
Did you do a grad scheme yourself?
Yeah, I'm on a grad scheme currently with Atkins. Yes.
So you get to see a bit of everything. Is that right? They put you like on placements or rotation?
On mine specifically, I'm not doing that, but I've worked on several different projects. So I'm sort of going around a few projects, and now I'm sort of locked into my current project, which is a pipeline project in East Anglia. To summarise, we're transporting a lot of water from the north of East Anglia to the south to provide homes with a reliable source of water. Yeah.
I mean, I'm originally from Suffolk, so my family is. So I know that Anglia Water have got a very interesting reputation for looking after leaks and water management and water.
Oh.
So you're probably saving the world down anything. Can't comment.
I'm not. My lips are sealed. I don't know anything about East Anglia. I'm working for Atkins.
No, that's okay. Well, I'm going to try and tie it all together with a bit of music now. I mean, obviously, you said you send your CV out there, and you need a CV. I think you need a CV to be looking great. So even if you're not doing music for a living, or sport for a living, or one of your extracurriculars, it looks great as a way to having a conversation with somebody. If you've got something to talk about, well, like whether you play the drums, whether you do hockey, or whether you go skiing, did you find that to be true, or am I completely in the wrong there?
No, you're absolutely right. It's all character building if you do music or sport. And what I found with music particularly is, in engineering roles, you've got sort of big problems today, like some major ones like reducing carbon and dealing with growing populations. It all requires innovative thinking, and that's that creative sort of base. I'd say helps coming from sort of music, because in those, thinking back now to when you used to just go on solo, and you're like, okay, right, got to think instantly of some either amazing or, in my case, not so good solo.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. And actually, my favourite memory, and I was just talking with Stuart earlier, was when you used to do a disco beat with one hand, and then you spin sticks with the other at the same time. So talk about ability. You were one of the guys that had it all, but obviously went and followed in engineering, which is way more sensible. I totally agree. But got any nice memories from back when you used to play music, either in school or uni or with us?
Yeah, I can remember. So I went to Hot House when I was about 14, 15 years old and stayed with you for about 4 or 5 years before switching to A-levels and off to uni. And I remember my sister was at Emmy Joe and I came to watch one of her concerts. And then I walk in to one of your gala performances, end of year, and I was just hit with this, this wall of noise. And I look up and the drummer, who I think at the time's now become very successful, Ed, he was absolutely shredding it up there. And it was just amazing. That's when, I was like, this would be really, really fun to get involved with. So I have some really good memories of the gala gigs where you sort of set 5 drum kits up. And then there's Stu there with a cowbell trying to keep everyone in time. They were just awesome. Yeah.
A wall of sound, an absolute wall of sound. Well, I know that these are only short things, so thanks very much, Ben. We really appreciate it. For all those who
no problem,
I'll put links in the bottom, and I'm sure if you want to reach out to Ben, he is on LinkedIn, and he won't mind if you reach out for professional development. And I encourage all of our students to have a LinkedIn profile because you will need it one day. And thanks very much for joining us today. Don't forget to click the button to subscribe. There's loads of great talks, and we look forward to hearing more great things from Ben soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye for now.
See ya.